Well, today we didn't do much. We just went out and kind of got ourselves moving around a little bit. It's an extra day, so um, but it was good to get back out there, and everybody had a chance to work, and so that was a positive. So with that, time's yours.
Go first to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Coach, welcome back. My question's on Kadarius Toney. It seemed like his usage sort of tapered off there, those last few games. Was that a maintenance game planning, and just generally, what's your outlook for Kadarius in the second half here?
Yeah, we'll just keep coming with him. He's. I just want to remind everybody that he did have the knee surgery, so we're taking it easy with him up to this point, and so just making sure he can make it through the year and in good health.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hello, Coach. I have two questions for you. The first is just what do you feel like has impressed you most defensively when it comes to Mike Dana and George Karlaftis? And Brad, I'll have a second.
Yeah, two young guys and that are really playing good, solid football. And they're one thing you're going to get with them, Nate, is 110% every snap. There's no plays off with those two, and that's and they're both smart kids, so they know the defense and what they can get away with and what they can't.
And then, secondly, Andy, when you look back at how the offensive line has played over the course of the first 9 games, I guess what is the most positive sign, and what is something that maybe you've pinpointed that the 5 guys can improve upon?
Yeah, so I think we're doing a pretty good job with the run game, and for the most part with the pass game. We've got to eliminate the penalties. I mean, that's the main thing. So we take care of that. We'll be fine.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Andy. You're winning games. I know as long as you're winning games, you don't really care what those look like. But I was just wondering whether winning games in a different style has required an adjustment on your part or Pat's part or really anyone's part. And Brad, I'll have a second question as well.
Yeah, I would say you adjust every week you adjust, and you adjust every year. So there are certain things that we're still working through and learning, and that'll continue, I'm sure, throughout the year. These young guys are getting better every week, which is a plus, and we got to keep that rolling. We've had a couple of drops. We got to keep working through that and making sure that we stay strong through the ball. But other than that, we're third in the National Football League in throwing, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. And I know it's only been a half season, but is there any gratification for you so far, maybe winning in a different way than what you've done in the past?
Well, we're probably between the run game and the pass game, maybe maybe more rounded, but I'm not sure about that either. Numbers are about the same if you take percentages from what we've been doing. But I like some of the things I'm seeing. But again, there's some things we need to work on. I would tell you the penalties are probably the biggest thing right now. We just got to take care of business with that.
Go next to Vahe. Go ahead, Vahe.
Hey, Andy. I realize this is a little bit far afield, but I wonder if when you guys went to the Super Bowl for the first time with the Chiefs, did you have any sense of the fact that you were largely a sentimental favorite? You personally, did you have any sense of that, or were you insulated from it? And I have a follow-up to that, Brad.
Yeah, listen, I'm insulated from it, but if that were the case, it's probably because I'm old, and hadn't won one, but or been on, been a head coach and won one.
Well, the reason I ask is sort of the flip side of that. By now, do you have any sense that even in the off season that there's a notion that, well, you've had your time, the Chiefs have gotten plenty, and people are ready to see a changing of the guard? Does that thought ever come to you through other people, or they wouldn't say that to you?
Yeah, listen, I'm in this office. I mean, you know how I do it. So, I mean, I'm in this office more than I am out of the office. So I'm not feeling a whole lot of that, but of that either way. So, I mean, I'm kind of tunneled in on trying to make sure that we play well, against the Eagles right now. So.
Thanks.
Yep.
Let's go next to Seren Petro. Go ahead, Seren.
Brad, I'll have a follow-up as well, too, if I could. Coach, I'm just curious, when you see the, brotherly shove, the tush push, whatever you call it, what kind of time do you think they're spending? Obviously I know reps, it's been said, that's the most valuable thing you got in practice. You can't be an expert at everything. When you look at that as a coach, do you, are you impressed? Do you look at it and say, my God, that must be 20, 30 minutes every practice? Is it, what's your reaction when you see how efficient they are with that?
Yeah, that's a tough one to practice, just because you almost have to do it live. So I don't think they're spending a ton of time on it. I just think they're good at it. I mean, they've their inside three do a pretty good job with it, and they've kind of made that. I think they've grown with it over time here, and that's what I see.
Okay. And then, listen, I'm sure, again, I know you just said you're isolated kind of in there in the room, but you hear the conversations that go on with Taylor Swift being a fan of your team and her relationship with Travis Kelce. People from other towns call us Kansas City fans and media. Do coaches call you? And is that a phenomenon? I know you talk with a lot of guys around there. Does that come up? And anybody asking you for, get them an autograph or some tickets or anything?
Yeah, no, nobody's really mentioned much on that. It is what it is, and I'm just glad he's found somebody he likes and she's found somebody she likes, and that's a good thing. So
let's go next to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Coach, in the past, you've said that the bye week is, the benefit is it gives you extra time to dig in and kind of see if there's things that you're missing. And, when you've said, rely on Mike Frazier to tell you a lot of things. I know you're not going to tell me what you learned this week, but how do you feel about what you kind of saw about your team and implementing maybe some things that you want to do differently going forward?
Yeah. So I think, Matt, that there's plenty of things we can work on. And, it's all great what the record is and that, but the main thing that we don't care about that. We care about improving on all three phases, and there's room to do that. And Frazier does a great job with keeping us abreast after every game, and then you have a little bit more time to kind of work on some things and look through them, maybe at a little slower pace, but I would tell you, yes, there's things that we can get better at. I tell you that every year, though, Matt. But we've got to keep cranking and working in that area, just getting better.
Looks like we got two more. We'll go Jesse and then Nick. Go ahead, Jesse.
Hey, Andy, I just wanted to follow up on Kadarius. You talked about having him for late in the season. What's the balance there between trying to get him on the field now and having a productive player, and then obviously having him for the most important games coming up?
Yeah, no, I think, listen, he played 7 plays last week. And so we can play him more than that and still be okay. I mean, and then, we just keep an eye on his leg and make sure that we're repping that out the right way and let him keep progressing as we go here throughout the year. I mean, that's the important part.
We'll ask to Nick Jacobs. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, Andy, I know Germany's kind of in the rearview mirror, but what do you hope the team takes away from that performance and going against an offense of that caliber and defense to help them propel them in the second half?
Yeah, they're a good football team, and so you want to keep that part going. You want to win games. I mean, that's what you're trying to do. At the same time, you want to get better as you go, and so coming out of that game, we met right after we landed here, and there were things that we could work on. We were all able to look at the tape as coaches on the plane, right? So, there are things there that we've got to get better at, and but yet at the same time, continue to play with that aggressiveness and that attitude.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.